I had a good idea. Oh, hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'm sad because I had a good idea. But the result was terrible.
Well, let's talk about your good idea.
First introduce yourself.
Yeah, this is Brandon with Still Frosted Gaming. I'm accompanied by the lovely Eloise.
Lovely.
And I'm going to be working on painting some more mosaic bases in alternative color scheme, while Eloise is going to be working on some Eldar projects. So what are you working on now? And then we'll talk about why you're sad.
So what I'm working on now is...
Okay, let me switch the camera over to you so we can...
squid. What I'm working on now is the theme of my Eldar army is Protoss from StarCraft 2. And I wanted my Yinkarn to look like an Archon. So this is the body... Whoops, can you see? Yep. Is it? Yeah. So this is the body of an Archon with the Eldar power sword. This is the wind effect of the something of the seventh wind for Age of Sigmar. And I am trying to... So we went to the game store this morning, and they had just the stars of the Yinkarn, not the whole Yinkarn. So I bought just the stars for a grand total of 50 cents. And I am trying to integrate the stars of the Yinkarn in the wind of the something dude of the wind.
Perfect.
I know. Trust me, I'm an expert. To make it look more Yinkarn-y.
I mean, it's bulking it out. It's giving it a little bit more texture and interest.
Yes, and it's making it more Yinkarn-y, which at the end of the day, they are a Yinkarn.
I think it's a they.
She looks like a girl, but that's my humble opinion. She got boobs.
Okay.
Okay, look. She got boobs. So yeah, it came with it comes with my big arm. It comes with that. So a broken torso leg attachment, and that's it. So that's what I bought for 50 cents.
We actually got a lot of cool stuff at the game store today.
We actually got a lot of cool stuff at the game store today. They had a random sprue pile where each sprue was $5. And they had yippee-doo, things like that. That is, Brendan, insert here words.
So we were able to get 3 frames from the 8th edition Space Marine starter box. I forget, it was the Space Marines versus Plague Marines. And for $15, so $5 for each frame, we got 5 intercessors, a Gravis captain, 3 bolt rifle inceptors, and 3 hellblasters. And right now, like if you're looking at the new Space Marine Codex, the inceptors are very popular. The Gravis captain is also a strong choice. So I get those things for $15. And I also get 3 hellblasters and 5 intercessors. So not bad. In addition, we got some orc terrain for $5. There's a couple... I have some random scatter terrain now.
There's goo on it, but...
Yeah, there's some random goo.
We can clean the goop.
Yeah.
And that, too. So it's chaos.
Yeah, so that particular frame is from Age of Sigmar. That's a Chaos Warrior torso pack and some shields. But having the torsos and the legs, we can convert that into some Space Wolves or some more legendary Space or Legion of the Damned characters, you know.
Yes.
So
that's what we bought. That was a good game store's visit.
Yeah, well, that was $5. Wasn't planning on picking up anything at the game store for myself besides some paint.
That's not true. We planned on picking up 2 bodies for fire prisms So, the no detail, no back hatch.
Yeah, just the holes.
Just the holes of the fire prism, because I wanted to 3D print void rays from StarCraft and put them on and use them instead of the long crystal, have a void ray. And that's why I'm sad and the loop is closed. Because I printed a void ray and I'm putting it on this night spinner, and it looks like crap. It looks terrible.
It looks very orky.
It looks neither Eldar nor Protoss. It looks half-assed. So yeah, I'm back to the drawing board. That's why I'm sad. So I'm back to putting stars on Yinari that I gave up earlier. Yeah, that's my afternoon. How about you?
We also got Chinese food, man.
We also got really, really great Chinese food.
I'm acknowledging now that I have way too much gold paint in this little cup that I'm using.
It's okay.
So what I'm also doing is, if you've seen any of the reels or talked to me in person about bases, I've been making some mosaic bases. And Eloise is like, I want some mosaic bases.
Okay, let me go grab my retributors so that everybody can see how ugly they are and realize that I'm not throwing a tantrum.
I want some bases.
Yes,
so
I threw a
Eloise
tantrum.
wanted some bases for retributors, so I'm working on making 15 bases in an alternative color scheme. We're going to go with gold. So black as the base plus gold, and then when the gold is dry and the airbrush is set up, we're going to airbrush some red over it, over a baby wipe. And that would allow us to get that webbing effect. Well, it'll go in between gold, black, and red, which I think will be pretty good. And then we're actually going to probably do 2 shades of red.
50 shades of red.
Yeah, 2 shades of red and some brown wash. So I think it'll look pretty good. Eloise's sisters are very blue and copper heavy in color.
Yes.
Blue, black, and copper. So I think having a brighter gold plus red on the bases plus the gray and grayish would look pretty strong when it's all put together.
You're not on me anymore. Now you need to go back on you because I'm not doing nothing anymore.
Wow.
Up.
Yeah. So when Eloise first worked on her Sisters of Battle, she just wanted to make some quick bases, and she started doing a mosaic theme. There's plastic card and some Sisters of Battle symbols and gravel, but the bases, what would you say? They're kind of flat in color.
So I used some what's the name? The
MDF.
wood. Yeah, MDF that was lazed and all of that. And it just does not look. It just does not look good. Also, I just cut her hand. So if you want to fix her hand, poor girl, you're gonna go there. You're gonna get fixed.
So we have 15 retributors, and they're about to get to new bases because they did really well last weekend.
They did.
What happened last weekend, Eloise?
So last weekend we went to Michigan GT. We had some unfortunate tomato juice. I mean, I had some unfortunate tomato juice. We played in the doubles with sisters, which are a completely. It is objectively one of the weakest army of the meta right now. And I love them dearly. I love my girls. They're not strong, and we ended up top overall, best overall.
So we played in the Michigan GT all aspects doubles. So 2 1,000-point armies working together, playing on the table, and we managed to go 3-0 with Sisters of Battle. We only dropped a grand total of 3 battle points,
which is pretty impressive.
So we had a final score of 297 battle points. And it was just in our last game where we played against Angron and Magnus, and while we both ultimately did kill both Magnus and Angron
with sisters.
With Sisters of Battle, we actually killed Angron twice. Between using tank shock and multi-meltas and
it was 100% tank shock and grenades.
But we got best overall because we were the second best generals at the event, and we had a really good paint score with our display board and our bases and the Sisters of Battle army, and we got best overall.
We did.
And that was the first time Eloise has won something at a tournament?
Yes. I have finished 4th many times.
You did win best sportsmanship once.
I won Miss Congeniality because I'm not mean to my opponent, and I don't play to win, I play to play. And if I win while playing...
You mean like it's a game and you have fun?
Yeah, I do. I play to play, and if I happen to win, I happen to win. If I happen to lose, I happen to lose. I actually, to some people's greatest dismay, do not even keep track of the score. I trust my opponent to keep track of the score.
It's only hurt you several times in events.
It has gotten me where games that were extremely tight, I quote-unquote lost by 1 point, and it's okay, you know. And I trust my opponents, and sometimes
it doesn't work out in your favor.
Not everybody is trustworthy, but it's fine.
My favorite is when you were playing a game and the guy's like, you were asking the guy, hey, how do you score these secondary points? And they just didn't want to tell you.
And he refused to tell me, yeah.
And then he magically won by 1 point.
Yeah, that was a little bit crappy of him. But it's okay. It's the same game where I healed Morven in 9th edition, when healing Morven was not a thing in 9th edition. So
now it is. Now you can do it.
Now it is. I will never be thankful enough to GW for
making,
modifying,
allowing you to be an indirect play tester.
Modifying the rules so that I stop cheating.
What do you want me to do with the rest of this gold paint? Because I have a lot of it.
I mean, I'm going to take the airbrush out, and it's not the same gold, so I actually do not know what I want you to do with that. Because my gold is a cold gold, not a warm gold. I don't know if I want to put this branch in. It looks a little bit crappy crap. I cannot make it look good.
Okay. I'll just put a second layer of gold on here because some places aren't as vibrant.
Come on, we can do it. So there were, when I came down this morning to start projects, before I squirreled myself into cleaning our paintbrushes, which our paintbrushes look good. So like 170,000 people. This morning I watched the video that says how to clean your paintbrushes. And I came down to work on something, and I wanted to turn on the music, and while looking for the music, I see that video that says, insert here what our brush looked like. Thank you, love.
And then do you have water?
I have water, but this morning I learned that that kind of water actually is bad for your brushes because the paint goes in the bristles. Can you?
You gotta entertain everybody.
Thank you. I gotta entertain everybody. So I need to finish my story because I cannot start a story and not finish it. And without working on any project, I start cleaning all the brushes. So now we have clean brushes and nothing printing on the 3D printer. Oops. Trust me, I am a grown-up. Well, it needs just a little bit more twirl. Ooh la la. Whomever put that together was very, very angry and owned a lot of glue. Maybe that's why it was worth 50 cents. You know, you get what you pay for. Oopsie doopsie. I heard a pop. It's meant to make that sound. Okay, so yeah, that's my unicorn base. Because we are playing Protoss, there is a little probe on it. There you go. Because we are playing Protoss, there is a little probe on it. Thank you. I explained my morning where I squirreled myself into not starting 3D printer. But all of our brushes are clean now, so there's that.
Except for the one I just used.
Yes. We're going to put it like that, and it's going to be as good as it's going to get. I'm not a super fan of that, so we're going to remove that. Up.
Alright. So, while I have them out sitting right next to me, so I've been working on some fancy mosaic bases for our buddy's Tau army.
Hey, you need to brag.
Brag. So,
that buddy's currently in Tampa.
So my friend Justin Cook, he is playing at the Tampa GT, the Tampa Open GT, and he was picked as having a showcase army.
Yup.
Which is pretty awesome. So, and what that means at a Games Workshop event is, out of all 300 and some odd armies that were presented to the paint judges, he's in the top percentile. I don't know if it's 10 or 16. I don't know how many there are. And they're going to do another round of paint judging. So he's in the running for best overall.
That's pretty cool.
Renaissance man, I guess is what they call it. And all of his tanks, and he has a whole bunch of them, they're all using this mosaic pattern along with a flight stand, which I haven't attached on them. So he reached out to me before playing today, and he's like, hey, I want some more of these bases. So we have 2 more for 2 more piranhas, and then 4 more for devilfish, along with 6 for crisis suits and a crisis suit commander. So he is going to have all the bases.
All the bases.
And now I got to figure out what I want to work on. So these bases I would just go do now, but unfortunately I don't want to turn the airbrush on. It's super loud.
No, we can. What is super loud is the vent. We can turn the airbrush on and wear masks.
Masks.
I know.
I mean, I also have a whole bunch of like space marines I could build, or yeah. That's actually coming out pretty well, Eloise.
Thank you.
Are you happy with it?
I am. As a matter of fact, I am. It makes it look more unicorny while at the same time being sturdier, because just the god of winds dude was a little bit flimsy. Yeah, so I'm going to attach some of the top together, like that one and that one, so that they support each other and that kind of stuff.
You know what? I think I'm going to build these 5 Terminators that have been sitting here for a very long time.
Okay. Up. It's okay. Also, we are 100% going to take out the airbrush because I really want them finished.
The bases? Yeah. I figure we'll do them tonight.
And tomorrow, so there is a tournament in our local game store, at our local game store.
Next week.
And my 1980s nemesis like you have in every 1980s you have an ultimate villain that the hero needs to defeat. So my ultimate villain, I guess, will be there playing. So it is in my arc story to beat him. So tomorrow Brandon is going to teach me how to play a little bit better, so that my chances.
But you're best overall in Sisters.
Yeah, but let's be honest, we were mostly doing what you wanted to do, not what I wanted to do. To the point that we argued about us not doing what I wanted to do. Yeah, I made it super awkward for our opponents. I argued on what I wanted to do.
You were very passionate.
I am a very passionate person indeed. And I do not apologize for that. But sometimes it made it a little bit awkward for our opponent. That plus I broke their toys. So.
You broke so many other models. Accidentally. How in the world? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they had the... what's the name? They were demons.
Zangor Enlightened.
Zangor
Enlightened.
The little disc people.
The little disc people. And Eloise saw those models and she was like, nope.
So my opponents had the little disc people who, bless their heart, are not very, very sturdy. And between his partner and me, I believe we broke probably... He had 6. I believe we broke 5 of the 6. Terrible opponent. Like at some point, I had to roll a 5 up. I roll a 5 up, so I put my both arms up in the air out of joy. And when I put my arms down, I put my arms back down. Schla! On the dude that's on the disc. And 2 of them went flying in every direction. Yeah, everything is fine. It's fine.
Not only that, his buddy broke the dude's models.
Yeah. Like that's why I say between his partner and
we were just having a blast. Like all of us were having a good time. Like
besides the dude whose model kept being destroyed. Like out of 4, 3 of us were having a good time, and poor whatever his name was not having a great time. Not having a great time. But yeah, we played against Necrons with Sisters. So an army that doesn't make damage versus an army that cannot die.
You can't say that. We killed so many of them. There were so many dead Necrons at the end of that game. All they had left was like 4 of them. Just because you weren't having a fun time doesn't mean we didn't kill the Necrons.
It was a boring game, though. Can we please agree that it was a boring game?
Yeah. Because
and it has nothing to do with the quality of our opponents. It was 100% the armies that were designed to not face each other in a fun way. Pew, pew, pew. Like, the 2 guys were fun. But Garden Necron versus Sisters is... There you go. It's a lot of bodies.
So are you actually going to play in the tournament next weekend?
It depends on
You've been in a kind of, like, I'll paint models, but I'm not really wanting to play kind of a...
I mean, I heard it when you're right.
I'm not judging. I mean, I understand you've been busy with work, and, on the weekends, you're kind of like, hey, I want to relax. And I don't blame you one bit for anything.
And I don't want to use my brain.
And having a 12-hour commitment, between travel and playing and rolling dice and interacting with people after you interact with a whole bunch of people all week at work, it's stressful. It's overwhelming. And if you don't want to play, you don't have to play. You know.
I kind of do.
Because I don't think your Eldar army is going to be ready.
At this point, I do. Well, especially if we don't start printing nothing. At this point, I do want to play. I might drop next week when the word... Oops, sorry. When the word becomes crazy, you know?
Yeah.
So that's Yinari. Yinkarn, sorry.
Yinkarn, yeah.
So that's the Yinkarn.
I think it came out pretty well.
I think
You have double the spiral flames.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it really gives it a Yinkarn vibe.
And then you have the guy just bro-fisting in there, too.
Yeah. Like, no one can say it's not a Yinkarn. The main feature of the Yinkarn, which is the Swirl of Star, or whatever you want to call it, is on the model.
Storm of Silliness.
The Storm of Silliness is on the model. I mean, the Storm of Silliness was on the model from the moment I decided to build it, but... Poopy poopy poo. So, let's talk about your application
Oh yeah, I should probably do that.
to Team America.
So it turns out Team America is having a open call, I guess, for people in the 40K community who are of a certain win record. And I found out that I actually qualify for that, which is kind of neat.
What makes me sad, still, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, that you could have been number 69 out of 100.
Yeah.
And instead you are a disappointing 66.
Well, now, if they redid it, I'm probably 57th.
Oh, because Michigan GT result?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went up 22 places international in the worldwide one.
Yeah, so.
So, anywho, so they have an application that's due today. I haven't even started working on it.
Hi, my name is Brendan, and I love postponing everything.
I procrastinate. It's my livelihood. And wow, these Terminators are way bigger than the other ones. So, would I like to be on the team? Yes, I would like to be on the team. My concern is that my concern ultimately boils down to my availability and financial.
It is a financial commitment.
It's a large financial commitment because it's not cheap. You know, you go to tournaments all over the United States. You may go to a tournament in Canada or Europe to practice before the WTC. Then you have to go to the WTC and then you have to be there for, at least 10 days to make it worthwhile, I think.
From the U.S., yeah.
Yeah, from the U.S.
Oh, so we're going to
Because you got to fly over 8 hours, then you have to get acclimated, and then, yeah, if you're going to go to Europe, you're going to make the most of it, so you want to take some time and, see the sights, go visit Europe,
yeah. Go visit Europe. It's so funny how American people talk about a whole continent.
Well, because usually, like in the United States, you're from France, so it's a different perspective. But France is the size of Pennsylvania, isn't it? Right? And then it's about the size of Pennsylvania.
I thought it was bigger than Pennsylvania,
right,
but
so
yeah.
It's slightly bigger than Pennsylvania.
Oh, fine.
That doesn't sound good.
I said fine.
That doesn't sound good. So there's a lot to see. Like, the cost to traveling to Europe is substantially more expensive than the cost of traveling in the United States. Like, in the United States, I just jump in my car and I can go wherever I want. Like, we just drove from Tennessee to Michigan. And that's probably the distance of going from southern France to northern France.
Actually...
9.5 hours?
I think it's 11 hours from Lille to Marseille. Let me... I don't have my phone. My phone is upstairs. So I guess we will never know.
Also, these Terminator... this is my first time... I'm working on the starter set Terminators since I have 10 of them. And I'm like, well, I might as well put them together. These guys are way bigger than normal Terminators.
Okay.
They look good. They'll be fun to convert up and put some green stuff and skulls on them.
And question for you, sir.
Are you cleaning your stuff, or what are you working on?
The ones that looks like crab with the big guns.
Warp spiders?
Yes. Thank you. The warp spiders, what size base is they on?
25 millimeter.
Ooh, I don't have more 25 mil. Well, I guess
I would still put them on 28.5.
So I guess I need to make 28.5.
That's the unfortunate part about the Eldar. So they're coming out the Striking Scorpion box. Now all those bases that you did are now out of size as soon as that box comes out.
28.5. We don't have any 28.5. Do we? 60, 32, large, extra large, 40, 50.
If we did it, they'd be in that tray. And we may just have to order some more.
Well, then that's for sure. We're not playing Eldars next weekend. 28.5. I am so used to always having a caliper at hand's reach. Hi, my name is Spoiled.
Hi, Spoiled.
That's 26. Do you measure the bottom or the top?
The bottom.
The bottom. That's 28.5. Okay, you're my girl. Don't put it down, put it away. So you're 28.5. 2.
In case for those who are wondering, I totally don't have the instructions for these models.
3.
So I'm trying to eyeball the instructions on how, or not eyeball the instructions. I'm trying to build them without knowing what parts go to what. So I'm just kind of like, that looks right. So he needs a gun and a power fist.
That's 25. That's 25.
Which power fist? You're probably number 13.
That's 25. That's 25.
Alright. So you go there.
That's 25. Yeah, we 100% are going to need to order some.
Alright. Well,
28.5.
let's, before we order bases, let's take a look at what size base the new Striking Scorpions are on. Actually, what bases are your Howling Banshees on? That's probably the closest approximation as to...
The people hear me moving around and go, ugh.
I know, I'm making you work for it.
Torture!
Torturing
I want you to have all the information and me not have to work for nothing. Isn't that how marriage works?
I mean, maybe.
Do I have a D cannon in that army?
In the list that you plan on using?
Yeah.
No.
That's weird. Okay.
Well, D cannons went up like 30 points, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Actually, choose a sharper blade.
The Banshees that I have are on 28.5.
Yeah. All of your aspect warriors, including the warp spiders, should probably go to 28.5. I want to double check the new release for the Striking Scorpions. I mean, they appear to be on 28.5, but they could always be on 32s. That's a possibility.
So I cannot do nothing then, just paint, which no one likes painting.
No one likes painting?
No one likes painting, ever. People who say they like painting are filthy liars.
I think there's people who legitimately enjoy painting.
I think they're filthy liars.
Well, alright. I know something you could do since this project is going to...
No, I'm gonna paint.
You're going to paint?
I'm gonna paint.
You can remove your Sisters of Battle from their bases and touch up any of their paint before we glue them back onto their new bases. No? Okay.
It doesn't sound like new. New sounds fun. The nail, do you cut it with this clamp?
You could, but I would use something a little more durable that's in the garage.
Because,
Well, why are you cutting that? You won't be able to see it. Is it from the nail?
yeah.
Mm.
He drunk. Zooby, zooby,
He's drunk with power because of how awesome he is.
Zooby, zooby, zoop. Okay.
I would get a clipper out in the garage.
Yeah, you're right. I know you're right. I just want...
Oops.
Oops. Oops. That's funny because people who are watching would be hearing me go, oops, oh, ouch, oops. As I dig through the toolbox. Up. There you go. So why did you not put him on a flying base? He got wings.
Because he's top heavy.
Like me. Yeah.
And actually, I'm pretty sure you picked out that base for him too. So.
Yeah, but I gave it to you with the nail.
And I cut the nail out.
Hence my question. He's got wings. Why do you?
He's too top heavy. Because your Autark conversion has a Guardian body with an Autark metal head and an Autark metal wings. Or actually, I think they're Maharoth wings. So they look really cool. The problem is he's just really heavy. And there's nothing really supporting him down. Like, I think we're going to have to put a washer on his base.
The Banshees already have washers on the bottom.
Well, he doesn't yet. He's going to need a washer.
Even if he's low?
Yeah. The taller he gets, the more imbalanced it gets.
If we had to put a washer, might as well make it worth it.
So you're gonna
100%.
Okay.
Or we can compromise.
And not make him fly?
No, he will fly. Does it look silly?
I mean, I think it looks silly. He looks like he's pooping out a rock. I mean, you do you. Ultimately, it's your army, but it's not a look that I would recommend.
You do you, boo. La 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 la. My poor husband. Up. So, your application to Team America. Are you going to apply?
Oh yeah, I completely got sidetracked because we were talking about base sizes. Thank you for jumping me back on track.
I am. My only job in life is to make sure that you all stay on path with what you want to talk about on stream.
Thank you.
That's my sole purpose in life. You know, some people want to save the free word.
And Eloise is like, gotta make sure the boys stay on topic.
Just need to make sure the boys don't squirrel themselves to death.
Squirrel. I'll apply. I think I'll be on the team now. I honestly think the team has already been chosen probably, and this is just a way to say, hey, you know, anybody has a shot. But my gut feeling says the team's already been chosen. I can't imagine them not have already done that work.
How about a Morgan paint off? That's what we were talking about at the game store.
I didn't buy another Morgan Raw, so...
Okay. People, comment down below if you would be interested in seeing a
I would love to see
Morgan
you paint Morgan
paint
Raw.
off.
No, I want to see you just paint Morgan Raw. I think Morgan Raw is probably the coolest model that came out for Eldar.
Yeah, I agree. He looks pretty good.
And, like, we have contrast paints. Like, you can demonstrate... I would prime them white and do black contrast paint on them. Ooh, this is not working. Come on.
Okay, so not you.
There we go.
Not you. I have a severe lack of bases. Severe lack of 28.5 bases. So.
Looks like we're going shopping.
So, let me paint, since I'm not building bases, let me finish painting the walkers. What else do I need? I need him. I need the scorpions, but we don't have bases. And that should keep me entertained for the biggest part of the afternoon. Cool. Hi, we are...
I mean, there's a couple people who have tuned in, but...
We are what? An hour?
Not 4:50. Yeah, 50 minutes.
50 minutes into painting, and I just decided what I'm going to do for this stream.
Well, you worked on your card model. Did you finish? Did you fix her?
Yeah. She can go back with her friends.
Yeah.
Go with your friends. But where did I put her friends? Oh, there.
Well, I just put her back in the cabinet.
There you go. There we go. Okay. So the inspiration for the walkers is the stalkers.
Here, let me jump over to you so we can actually see what we're doing. There you go.
So the inspiration for the walkers is the stalkers, and I wanted to have that shape. We replaced the legs with legs that are more stalker-like. Actually, those are Immortals' legs, but the stalkers' legs were too flimsy to carry the weight of the walker. So, let's make some room. Zoom. Let's grab the wet palettes. Up. Actually, let's grab a palette pad. I don't feel like
playing with water.
Yeah.
You know what we could do? Now that we have a whole other starter set of models.
Which one?
I have 2 Horus Heresy starter sets.
I thought you...
Yes, I'm trying to sell it.
Okay.
We could do a paint off of Horus Heresy models.
I do not like painting Marines. I think that they're extremely boring. The most controversial opinion.
That's not controversial.
So many people like Marines. I do not like painting
I think
Marines.
people like the story behind Marines. I don't think they necessarily enjoy painting Marines. I enjoy painting Marines because they're simple.
I don't like painting Marines because they're boring. So you get the glue.
You could paint a Dreadnought. You You can pick a Land Raider.
Oh, you know what I just did?
Messed up already. What'd you do?
Messed up the brushes already. Strong.
The ones that you spent an hour cleaning this morning?
Yeah. And those ones exactly.
It's pretty cool.
Alright, so one thick coat.
That's the name of your
That's the name of our team. That's the name of the people who wanted to be in a team with me before you wanted to be in a team with me.
I'm pretty sure we were on a team before they wanted you to be on their team.
They One Thick Coat wanted me to be on their team after my first Michigan GT.
But we were on a team together. We were a team Power Bottoms. And we also were Team Brown Eye Terror at the Ramen Con in South Bend, Indiana.
Really? I thought we became Brown Eye of Terror after.
Well, we didn't want to play against each other, so we definitely were on the same team to try to prevent us from being paired together.
Fair.
Yeah.
Is it still a thing that when you are on the same team it...
Yeah, that's why no one from DOG played against each other until like day 2 of Michigan GT. I think it's up to the judge's discretion on when that turns off. If it could be after the first round or what. But, I mean, I only played against one person who identified as Death or Glory at that event. And there were a lot of us there. So statistically, I probably should have played against 2 or 3.
Yeah, fair. Fair. I'm still sad you did not play against that Black Templar Highlander dude.
Oh, we would have been on show War Game live stream. We would have had a good time.
I mean, not that we did not have a good time with Brenton. We had a good time.
We had such a good time we played 2 games.
That is true. However, that is a sign of a good opponent that they win, you lose. Yet, still, when you say, hey, I want to learn how to beat you for the next time, can we just re-rack and see if I go that way, does it go better?
Turns out it does.
No, but it...
Yeah, like he could have just walked away. He didn't have to chat with me about it. Yeah. But we did. We played 2 full games.
Brenton is a great opponent.
He won the first one. I won the second one. I mean, it was a good learning experience because he plays way more games than I do. I play every once in a while on stream on this channel. Then I go to an occasional tournament.
The local RTT, yeah.
Yeah, but like everyone was asking me, oh, when was the last time you played in a 10th edition tournament? I'm like, well, I played at ATC last, and that was the end of July. Had an absolute blast, but if we're talking about
team events and one event are very, very different. Not everybody is designed for a team event. I know that.
I love team events, though.
Yeah, but what kind of team event are we talking about? Because I would be a great defender. You can punch me in the throat as much as you want. I will still...
That's very aggressive.
Play to play. No, but like some people play to win. I play to play.
Yeah.
Which makes me a great defender because I will still try to score as many points as I can and be graceful about being punched in the throat repeatedly.
And some people can't handle that. Like, after chatting with Lyle Dixon, who played on my team at ATC, and he put himself down as first defender, and he got some really rough matches. And it overall caused him a lot of
grief,
mental anguish, because he did not like that. He liked, trying to get as many points as possible and crushing people, but he just didn't have that kind of tournament.
But I
think it allowed him to put it in perspective.
I think it's because he doesn't lose enough. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm extremely happy for him that he doesn't lose enough to be graceful in loss. I just lose perpetually, so I'm very graceful in. I am graceful in defeat. So yeah, but if you put me on a team event where you need to pair up with someone.
So speaking of the Team America application,
like
Lyle qualified. He could apply. Lyle actually has a higher win-loss ratio than I do.
So is he going to apply?
I don't think he is.
He should.
I don't think he is because he is a busy man.
I mean, there's that. Real life is real.
Yeah. He's a busy man. I mean, he's a teacher. I mean, that doesn't...
And they have a kid, and yeah.
Yeah. And it's a big financial commitment still.
Mm-hmm. Not everybody got a... Well, he got a sugar mama too. He was bragging about his sugar mama.
I don't know if Heidi's a sugar mama, but I do know that Heidi is very welcoming and accepting of his hobby and his interests, which goes a long way.
I don't think Heidi is a sugar mama. I think they have a partnership. That was a joke. It will happen again. I'm not sorry.
Not sorry. Eloise, not sorry.
I hate painting.
I mean, if your goal is to ultimately play that Eldar army in a tournament, you gotta paint it though, so.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm painting it. Otherwise, I would not be. Are the mics saturating anytime I talk, or is it just... Okay, so try to cut something then. No, try to cut something from the sprue. You make it saturate.
Well, it's both of us. Sometimes you get really excited.
I mean, I do. You ain't wrong, sir.
The rules are the rules. The facts are the facts.
So, do you want to airbrush the red through the fabric?
Yes.
I think we should finish those bases this stream.
I'm just concerned with how loud it's going to be.
It's a very low quality airbrush.
Let me rephrase this. I don't want to die inhaling things because we're concerned about sound quality.
Not for that short. Like, what about killed me last time? Yeah, I had a bronch.
Can we just acknowledge that you're like, what about killed me last time while airbrushing?
That's...
I don't want to inhale toxic fumes, even wearing a mask. We just don't have there's no windows that we can open nearby us. We need to run the vent.
You just don't like to live dangerously, and it's disappointing.
Or we can record another video of us doing it.
Mm-hmm. We should add it to the list of videos that we should make. Oh, I wanted to send you another thing. You know, like, you should make a video of all the toys that you have to help you be a better hobbyist.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think that'd be fun.
Like, this $10 UV nail lamp that replaces a $170 curing station for a 3D printer.
Yeah, and it's multi-purpose, so like you can do resin projects with it. Like we've been doing some UV resin stuff,
yes.
And it works out well with that. Like a lot of my basing projects that I've been working on, or a lot of display boards, have been incorporating resin, and in order to get it to dry in a reasonable amount of time, aka not 3 days,
you use UV resin.
I use UV resin, and I'm using a nail lamp.
The only problem with that is that
they fade.
Heats up. Oh, normal resin fades too. Because what fades in the resin when you leave it out on the dashboard of your car, cough, cough, is the pigment. It's not the resin that fades, it's the pigment. So no matter what kind of resin you use, if you use a certain pigment, you're still going to fade.
You can paint over it too, and then just hit it with another layer of resin.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted to do.
May I ask what just happened? Did you just break it?
Nothing. Everything is fine.
Everything is fine.
It is going as planned.
Proud of you. I don't believe you, but I'm proud of you.
So what will you tell in your application for Team America?
Well, I'll have to sit down and look at it. And
when did you start playing Tiny Toy Soldiers?
2001. So it's been 22 years.
Oh. When was the first time you went to a tournament?
2001.
When was the first time you met Bill, Brad, Greg?
About a decade ago. Well, I guess 2010.
Wow. So who were you hanging out with for the first 10 years? I thought you guys hung out from the beginning of your tournament life.
Well, it's an issue of there's lots of tournaments and there's lots of people at the tournaments, and you don't know who the movers and shakers are before the era of social media. So who was I hanging out with? I was hanging out with Justin Cook.
Oh.
So the first grand tournament I went to was the Baltimore GT in 2006, and I ran a Crew Mercenaries army, and I had been chatting with Justin over a forum.
Oh.
Remember forums? And actually, speaking of those forums, other forums that I talked to Neil Kerr back in 2005.
We like Neil. I mean, we like Justin too.
But using the tools at the time, like it's so fascinating to me to see the hobby evolution of talking about like projects. Like YouTube didn't exist. I mean, battle reports were text and picture only.
That's pretty sweet.
To learn how to do a certain painting technique, you had to read an article. Like there were no videos.
Back in my days.
Either a webzine, an e-zine, or a magazine. Like I had all the White Dwarf magazines, and then I donated to the local library after I stopped using them. But they would go over painting techniques. Like they would talk about how to paint stuff using their color products.
Really?
And that's how you learn about new products. Now, they have a streaming weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about, hey, new Striking Scorpions are coming out in the next 2 to 3 months. Pretty cool. But back in the day, you had to buy the new White Dwarf to hear about anything.
So White Dwarf was the magazine from GW?
Yeah. And at the time, that's how I learned about Neil, because he was a part of a gaming club that was featured in the White Dwarf. And he was an active community member on the forums I was participating in. And we just started chatting, and then they had their own team forum that they invited me to, and here we are. And now I know him. Like, I played in tournaments with him.
Did he ever come to the U.S.?
Yep. Back in 2019, he was on my team. Team Brown Eye Terror.
Hell yeah.
At the Battle for Salvation team tournament. We got 4th place in best sportsmanship because we had 2 Europeans come. It was me, Greg Sparks, Neil, Rob, and Alan.
Alan Pajama?
No. Blakenborough.
I was about to say, you and Alan were ever on the same team together?
And we won best sportsmanship, and we had a blast. It was such a good time. And that tournament's so weird because it's in a mall, and the mall isn't like any mall around, most of the United States. It was like 3 stories long, 3 stories tall.
Wow.
They had like, how they have
food court.
Well, they had multiple food courts.
Wow.
They had an indoor like roller coaster.
Wow.
An indoor like zip lining. They had zip lining, skate rink. You know, just lots of stuff. That crazy amount of stuff.
That's pretty cool. Is it still in the mall?
I think so. I mean, the prices of doing running a tournament in the New York City metropolitan area probably requires it to be in a mall.
Fair.
Just because of
Oh, I didn't know that
expensive-
BFS was in New York.
Yeah, it's in Yonkers, which is 20, 30 minutes outside New York City.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it was a good tournament. We had fun. It was a great team tournament.
Yep.
All the way back in 8th edition.
Back in the good old days.
Back in the good old days.
Pepperidge Farms remembers.
But yeah, I mean, joking aside though, like
The dog, can you please stop making weird noises, please? Thank you.
the dog. We have 3 of them.
The one who likes to make weird leaky noises.
All 3 of them.
Blizzard, ça suffit. J'ai dit ça suffit.
I hear a tail wagging though.
He doesn't care that I get mad. He just stops doing whatever he's doing.
For like 15 seconds, and then he goes back to doing it.
Seems legit. So if we play next week, let's try to think ahead of time.
Okay. So if we play next week, this is just me. I don't know if you'll have enough time to get your Eldar ready.
I don't think I will either. But
So-
what are you playing? Because let's talk about you. Because you never know what you're playing until like the day of the event.
The day of the event. So I don't have a copy of the current Space Marine Codex that was released today, and they're sold out for practically everywhere, from what I understand, because they never make enough copies, and they, for some reason, still don't sell the digital codes by themselves. So I'll need to figure out how to get a copy of the Space Marine Codex. I think I'll probably just play Tau. So at our local game store, they do player place terrain, and it tends to have a lot of large open areas.
Depending on who you play against, yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the people in our local scene are not very strong at player place terrain.
Yeah.
Without being.
Actually, what I would like to do, since I have a exact replica of the terrain that they're using, I would like to bring it to the store and play on that. You know, give my opponent the opportunity to
Play on a nice table.
Yeah.
So that means that we definitely need to bust out the airbrush. Wow. That's why I wear this t-shirt that doesn't fear anything. Because I about spilled the whole quote-unquote wet palette on me.
Good job. Yeah, I would like to play on that terrain just because, you know, like, I'm going to have a nicely painted army. You know, I like taking pictures of the games because I feel like when two armies are well painted, you know, having well painted terrain goes a long way to making the game way more enjoyable.
So let's talk about display board.
So the army I'm thinking of playing is Tau. And I'll probably play something very similar to what I just played with, just because it's practically done. I might make a couple adjustments, like I might take a third Sky Ray or something. Because Sky Rays are sky fun.
So should you be working on that right now instead of working on random Space Marines? Just so that I don't have to paint them when you deploy.
That was pretty funny. So at Michigan GT, my Tau army, even though I got best overall Tau because it's a mixture of battle points and player record and paint score, some of the models weren't quite done yet. I fully admit that they weren't quite done. And
he was including the fact that quite a bit of his army was not quite done.
Like,
He was surprisingly close from getting best overall. Which...
It's still a combination of multiple scores, though.
You cannot win best overall with a half-painted army.
It was 75% painted.
It hurts my heart.
Now, if I was in the running for best painted, it'd be a different story.
So I just did a big blob, and I don't like that. So, while he was deploying, just in case he was to win best overall, while he was deploying on day 2, the first game of day 2,
we were literally painting models, both of us. Like during my lunch break on day 2, I was painting models.
Yeah, I gave up.
I painted like 2 Skyray turrets and a ghost keel, and I was like, I should go eat lunch. That seems important.
Yeah.
It won't be the first time that I paint during the tournament. It won't be the last. You know, because we did the same thing at Adepticon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for that event, oh man, I did so much work for that tournament in like 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Built an entire display board and had to ensure 4,000 points of Space Marines were built and painted.
Mm-hmm. And you played with... Kremer still owns the record of the shortest time between painting and deployment. While painting who's TJ's model? Was it TJ's model?
I don't know whose models they were.
He told us that story like 7 times at this point. I think it was TJ's.
And it wasn't an army. It was like one unit. Painting
TJ's model while he was deploying. So like painting them, handing them over, and they were being deployed.
They had an airbrush vendor. I mean, there's way more to this story than...
I am not being fed the truth, the entire truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yeah, there was an airbrush vendor, and Kramer's like, can I use your airbrush? And they're like, of course.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. And, for the record, if I had 3 spray cans, I 100% could get a 2,000 point army painted, 3 color minimum, and haven't looked good with 3 spray cans in 15 minutes.
Fair.
So it's not really a...
Apple to apple comparison.
Yeah, it's a little... not quite the same.
Shake.
Yeah, these Terminators are massive, though. Let me go with the old Terminators.
Ooh.
Ugh.
The dogs are very intrigued by your moving. The dogs are like, oh, we going on an adventure? Let's roll.
We're going on an adventure.
I will not use this brush.
So this is the Terminator from last edition. And I'm quite...
Ooh.
Let me transition my screen so we can see.
You were on my screen?
Yeah, I like your nail polish.
Thank you.
Alright, so this is a Terminator from last edition. This is the new one that just came out. This one is a solid 1.5 centimeters taller than the other guy. This is you, and this is the one your girlfriend tells you not to worry about. But no, these are pretty cool models. Like I haven't seen, the only model that I had built so far was the Terminator Librarian and the Terminator Captain. But these models are substantially larger than the other ones.
This is you. This is the one your girlfriend tells you not to worry.
Yeah, it's a good centimeter taller.
Ouch.
Now, I still plan on using the old ones because I love the old sculpts, and every single one of mine are converted too. And I did some nice hand-painted flame effects before I did a lot of green stuff on these guys. But
you're going to do the same.
In case I need 20 Terminators, now I'll have enough for 20.
15 small and 5 big?
I have another 5 of these plastic ones.
Oh, okay.
They're just sitting in the starter box. Let's go. Let's look at your nails again.
Yeah. So we are painting gold on the Archon/Yinkarn. Up. So what army are you going to take? And when do you plan on working on it? Preferably not the last 5 seconds before the event.
Well, if I play Tau, it's really just finishing a couple models that are like 85% done, and it's just painting the fine details like the leather straps and like highlighting the models. And actually have to go through and do a whole lot of highlighting to the army overall.
And how about...
I want to build these. Yeah, I don't want these. Let's build this new Gravis Captain.
How about the display board? I feel like I asked this question before.
So...
You know how marriage is. I will ask you the same question until you give me the answer I want to hear.
I would like to make a display board, but the way we're currently set up in our household, it's not conducive to working on a display board on camera at the moment. So
yeah. I'm trying to see how we could... No, you can use the overhead camera for the gaming table.
Okay. I'm not against making a display board, but I'm just not set up at the moment at all to work on a display board. Could I be by tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah, but tomorrow we play. Tomorrow you teach me how to play.
We're going to have Eloise become the best Sisters of Battle player
I want to be the very best. Yeah, I need my personalized 1980s montage. Where it's the I am a tiger, man, game in a man. Where I make myself better to defeat my nemesis and not use social media to tarnish their reputation.
We have to get some nemesis, not nemesis. We have to get some montage music. That's not copyrighted. Because I'm pretty sure the song that you're humming is copyrighted.
So, if any copyright-struck bot can recognize the Eye of the Tiger from my very, very poor singing ability, I'm not even sure of the lyrics, that bot needs a promotion. Because my singing is very poor.
I actually don't think this is an intercessor. I think this is a lieutenant.
So it's not a captain?
No, I have the captain. So I didn't buy the 8th edition starter set when it came out, mainly because I thought Primaris Marines are still silly. I still think they're silly, but now I'm not given a choice anymore. So
now that 3/4 of your army is dead, in the eyes of the angel?
Not quite that much. But yeah, quite a fair bit. So, in the eye. So mean. Anyways, yeah, I think this is a lieutenant. I'll have to look back.
I am not farting. It is my chair creaking.
I do know this is the Gravis Armor Captain, which I don't own, and it turns out that aggressors, which I like aggressors. I think they're chonky boys. I used them last edition. I used them in Adepticon for the doubles and the team tournament.
Actually, I do not want to do that. Sorry, I'm listening. You use them at Adepticon in the doubles and the teams tournament.
Yeah, the aggressors are pretty fun. So
be aggressive.
That's what you need to learn how to do.
No, what was funny? Was it Desolator? Desolator Marines?
Desolators.
Yeah. People were like, wow, they hit pretty hard. And I was like, well, their name is Desolator, not Hugging-ator, They bring desolation, not hugs. Sorry.
I wonder if Desolators are vaguely worth it. They're not nearly as good as they used to be, because now you can only take them in groups of 5. They're 200 points for 5. But even at 200 points, having anti-tank and anti-infantry, indirect and solid shots, they're not bad. They're a little pricey. They're not bad. I do think they need to actually come down in points because they no longer have access to reroll wounds, which is what made them really annoying.
So if you give Oath, you can reroll hit but not wounds?
Correct.
Ooh.
So one of the big changes with the Space Marine Codex that has come out, we've discussed it a couple of times.
Not with me.
Is at the launch of the edition, Oath's a moment was you pick a unit in the command phase and you get to reroll all hits and all wounds against the chosen target. And if you had a character,
and then if you have Bobby G,
if you had Gilliman, you could do it twice. After the first unit was destroyed, you could nominate another unit and do it again.
Yeah.
Really strong. And we played a streaming weekend, and I used that ability, and I was able to kill
everything as soon as
10
they
knights in 3 turns. Like it was silly. Like how many knights I was able to kill with a mixture of grab cannons, desolators, and Oaths of Moments. Well, now that they don't get to reroll wounds, I'm worried about their ability to deal with tanks and just deal damage. I want Marines to be good. I'm just not convinced. I think they're going to be a very middling army. So I'm really excited to play Tau. I think Tau matched the playstyle that I had with Marines.
Which is zoom, zoom, zoom?
Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. I do like my zoomy zooms.
Hi, my name is...
Marines don't do that nearly as well, from what I've seen.
Hi, my name is Brendan, and I have the zoomies.
I have a zooming addiction.
I like it when I can go through the whole table in half a turn. I like it when I can choose to be all up my opponent's face in turn 1. Or, as far as humanly possible, from my opponent.
That's interesting. I would not have painted it the way, like, I would have worked my way up to, like, a white, and then I would have used, like, blue inks to have the variation of the plasma.
That's funny because I want to do dry brush that, dry brush white, and then do the ink over it. Like, heavy dry brush, light dry brush, ink.
Worst case scenario, we strip the paint. Best case scenario, it looks fantastic. I mean, winning.
You're so encouraging.
No, it's just different effects. I mean, the different ways of painting. But like when I painted the ethereal ghosty boys that I used for my cherubs, I did inks only, white prime and ink.
I mean, it's still time to white prime.
I mean, you can try it and see if you like it. If you don't like it, then
no.
No? Okay.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to. You painting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yucky. Yucky painting.
I let you entertain people. I am going to go rinse that under the water because the paint is not dry, and prime it white.
You seriously?
Yeah.
Is it because mine's a good idea, or because you're...
Because hue painting, and if there is a better way to do it, I want to try the better way.
I don't think you need to wash off the ink. Well, it's up to you.
Hue painting.
I don't think it's going to come out. I don't think you're going to be able to get it all washed off.
Not all, but the bulk. Hue painting. You need to entertain the people, though.
Turn your microphone off.
Well. Maybe. Guess who's back?
Did it work?
Back again. It worked enough.
It worked enough. Perfect. That's all we need.
Well, my theory is with my sister's army, I still win base painted even if my approach to painting is close enough.
Well,
so
I think this model.
So
there's multiple ways to paint the same model. There's multiple ways to.
Did you entertain people while I was gone? What did you guys talk about?
Nothing.
But you need to talk to people.
I took my model apart. I mean, there's multiple ways to paint the same model. I'm not saying you could have accomplished that effect. I just think it'd be way easier if you primed it white.
I like easy and simple.
And actually, you could probably do gray and then a little bit of white. Just have some variation.
I'll need to tape it off, though.
There should be paint or tape somewhere. I know where is beyond me.
I know where the tape is.
It's down here somewhere.
It is under the computer, lifting it up so that the computer does not overheat.
No tape for you.
Are you ready to swap rolls of tape with me?
All right.
The right answer is
how about
yes.
How about we transfer the be right back?
No. This is my pouty voice.
Crisis averted.
There was no crisis.
Crisis averted.
You're the crisis.
I'm the crisis.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool.
That you're the crisis?
Yeah.
Up. Tape. Come on. Tape. Surprisingly, if you build stuff for them to be tight, they tight. Who would have thought?
All right. So what we're doing is, after a brief discussion with Eloise about how to paint this, she's going to just hit it with a zenithal highlight of white.
Gray and white. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a little bit of gray and then just a smidgen of white. We don't actually have that much white primer, so I would do gray and then white. Because the ink will cover and it'll still provide contrast.
Mm-hmm. Up.
Is it raining?
No, it's not raining, but it's windy enough that it sounds like it's raining. Which
it's a fall. It's like today's feels like the first day of fall down.
It's fall, you all. It's the first day of fall in Tennessee. I'm like, where are we?
Geologically, it is not the first day of fall, but feels like it.
And up.
I do not like this guy's crest. That's silly. I'm cutting that off.
Cut it off.
I am.
Entertain the people. Talk to them.
Is your microphone off?
Not yet.
Okay.
Now it is.
Do you have your gray?
Yes, talk to the people.
You don't have your gray.
I did.
I'm looking at it right now. You do not want to use that gray.
So which gray do I use?
That one.
Oh. I had the gray.
You had the wrong gray. You had a gray that would make you very sad if you used it. She had a furniture gray, so the kind of primer that you would put on furniture. And what would happen is it coats the model too thick and just kills all the details, and we would have to strip the model. So I'm glad that we caught that before she started painting the model. I guess it goes like that. This is a pretty unique model. I got to do a little bit more cleaning up of the mold lines, but I might even do a weapon swap. I need to look at the codex entry for a Gravis Captain. I believe it can have all sorts of weird stuff now. Maybe not weird, but I know it can get a power sword, chainsword, power fist. And I don't know what I want to equip him with yet. Because I was under the impression, like, this counts, that Boltstorm Gauntlet counts as a power fist-esque weapon. So I'll have to look at their entry. I might do a weapon swap after we're all done building this model. But having a nice captain, being able to join the aggressors just for a bit more strategic play in the new codex, because you can have an apothecary and a captain attached. It's a lot of points, but whoops. No, I guess I should glue the outside. The apothecary having access to lethal hits, and then the captain giving access to different stratagems. So you can get Armor of Contempt, you can do count them as being in Heavy Doctrine, so on and so forth. What I would like to get at some point is an extra Marneus Calgar. I don't have a Marneus Calgar model. And Marneus Calgar, when attached to aggressors, allows them to advance and still shoot, and advance and still charge. So it's a very tactically flexible unit. Shoots a lot, hits a lot, very speedy. How'd it go?
I'm still alive.
You're still alive? Did you inhale all the toxic chemicals?
I sure did. It was great.
Did the wind blow it back into your face?
No, because since it was windy, I decided to do it within the garage.
Okay.
So I really inhaled.
The love of
the chemicals.
The love of the white and gray primer.
I know. We don't talk enough about coughing purple the day after painting.
You know, sometimes when I just get super excited to paint, and like I'm just using a spray can and I inhale it and I sneeze black or blue or red or whatever color like I'm doing. It's pretty cool. Don't think it's necessarily the healthiest thing, but it's pretty cool.
It is 100% the healthiest thing.
Don't recommend.
0 stars out of 5 would not recommend. You were on me the whole time when I was gone.
Well, yeah, my bad.
Brandon. What are we going to do with you? Marry you?
Yeah. So what ink you starting off with? The dark blue one?
Dark blue. And I'm pondering if it was a wise choice.
I think so. Just from the picture.
Okay.
Because you're going to dry brush over it.
Yeah.
But there's already a lot of shadow and there's already a lot of
texture.
Extra detail.
Yeah.
I think it's just faster. I think it'll look sharper.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. If you want to pull up a picture of an Archon.
StarCraft Archon.
Proto-StarCraft Archon, yeah.
Let's see. We can do a screen share. There we go. Protoss Archon.
StarCraft 2.
Images. Yeah, I think that's probably good right here. Yeah, so I think that blue is actually spot on.
Cool.
I think you need a little bit of purple, and we have purple ink.
Yeah, I'll now that I see the picture, I think I'll do purple on the underside when the blue is completely in.
Yeah. And then just highlight the white. You're just making it look like a plasma. And, I mean, this is just one artist's representation. Like, this one doesn't actually have any purple. Well, it actually does a little bit right there. But this one's pink.
Yes, because they
Because
are...
the color changes based on which...
No, because they are Xelnaga. They are... Taldarim, not Xelnaga, or vice versa. They are Taldarim, not Xelnaga. Which nobody cares anymore.
That blue looks sharp. I think you'll be quite happy with the way that look. I totally forgot to transition. I'm like pointing to the screen. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so what we're looking at is this guy right here. So this is a Protoss Archon. And has a little bit of blue, has a little bit of purple, lightning, plasma effects. So I think doing the ink method that Eloise is doing to give it a more ethereal look, plus adding some lighter blue highlight, white highlights, and purple lowlights, I think will look pretty sharp. Like, I'm just looking at it now in person, and it looks pretty good. But ultimately, are you happy with it?
I am very, very happy.
Or are you just like, I hate painting so much?
I hate painting so much. What I like about... No, let's talk for a second. What I like about army building is the army optimization, like making an army that's optimized for what you own, how you want to play, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
From a points utilization point of view. What I like about building armies is the building of the army, the taking the time to build your model so that they look like you want them to look and not like the neighbor's model, and personalize them and give them character.
Mm-hmm.
What I do like about building army is like the story that you can tell yourself. In my, what's the name? The striking scorpions are dark Eldars because their weapons and all of that, they just look like dark Eldars. But also my Banshees are dark Eldar, not Eldars, dark Templars, because of the lore. You don't see them coming, and when they punch you in the face, you're just super surprised.
Makes sense.
So that's like that story. What I do not like about army building is putting color on it.
So my least favorite part about it is that I'm not a big fan of painting either. And my least favorite part about painting is that I have a vision. And in my vision, the models look a certain way. And I have a very difficult time replicating their look. And I can build it the way I want it to look, and I'm quite content with the way it looks while being built. I'm quite content with the way it looks while even being primed. But after primed,
it goes downhill from there.
It goes downhill, and maybe it's because I don't have the right painting technique. Maybe it's because I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm too much of a perfectionist.
You sound like we're having a job interview. What in your vision can you not make happen? Like what skill do you need to hone, I guess?
Probably the patience to do it.
No. What effects?
The color matching.
So what do you have in your mind?
So I see. All right. Trees are green. I think the first issue is like I'll see somebody paint the model, and clearly like masterclass level of painting and detailing.
But
that's all they do. They spend like 3 weeks to paint a single model, and it's No.
And you cannot do that because when you choose to build a model, it's usually 24 hours before the tournament.
That is accurate. Like, I hear about, like, the quantity of time that people take in painting a single model. Like, after speaking with Matt Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I like Matt. I mean, he's a pretty cool dude. Like, he's pretty straightforward about, like, his time and what it takes for him to build a...
He helped my drunk ass carry potatoes. He's my hero.
Potatoes?
Yeah.
I have so many questions. I have...
Finish your story.
I want to know about these potatoes. Nothing I will say is even remotely as interesting as the story you just casually brought up that I have no context.
No, it is actually very, very boring. So Adepticon, when we were playing on the tables that were at the complete back of the room.
Oh, those potatoes. Okay. Right.
And I was mildly... The game before, we got asked to be on stream, and I do not like being on stream. So I had 1 or 2 glasses of wine to give myself liquid courage. Which means that by the time the next game came up, I had way too much liquid courage within me compared to the courage that was needed to play a game. Someone is calling you.
Yeah, Weezer's calling me. I'll call her back in a bit.
Right. I had way too much liquid courage, so I needed something to sponge my liquid courage.
When was this? I'm super confused. So, like, we've only played on stream at Adepticon one time.
Yeah, but last year we did not end up on stream.
Yes, so why did you need liquid courage?
We got asked, hey, are all of your models GW? And you said yes, and the person who was asking said, okay, get ready to get on stream. And I said, wait, I will need liquid courage. I bottomed up 2 glasses of wine, and then he said, oh, Eloise, we don't want you drunk on stream. And then they put somebody else on stream. Mr. Holster.
So you're the reason why we weren't on stream.
I'm the reason why we're not on stream, because he knows what happens to drunk people. He firsthand Hidley knows what happens to drunk people.
That makes way more sense now. I was wondering why we weren't randomly on stream. Like, we just...
Because he saw me chug down 2 glasses of wine and probably got horrified. So, by the time the game after came, I had a lot of liquid courage within me. I needed to sponge it, so I went to go buy potatoes, and I was carrying 5 plates. I was drunkenly carrying 5 plates of potatoes through the whole hall. So from the bar area where it's at to the other side of the gaming hall, which is a strong half a mile walk.
No, not that far. It's a walk, but it's not a half mile.
It is a walk.
It's a walk, and it seems a lot further when you've been drinking. I'll give you that.
And I was carrying 5 plates of potato, and Matt Aaron saw me, and apparently I looked distraught because he saw me and he's like, "Whoa, girl!" And he helped me carry the potatoes. That's it. I told you it was a boring story.
Fascinating. This is the most important story of the
I
day.
told you it was a boring story.
Most important story. If there were people actively watching, I'd want to know what they thought about this potato story.
And I love how I purposefully tried to not say names of the people that we interacted with, but Matt Aaron.
Well, going back to Matt Aaron.
The time that he spends to pin.
Yeah, so one of the pieces of advice that he gives, and I give the same advice, like, get your models painted, put them on the table, use your models. But when you're trying to improve, just go back and go over your paint, like, did you miss that one grenade? Could you have highlighted this particular section of your model slightly better? Could you have done this slightly better? And that's where I'm at the point at with a lot of my armies, where most of the colors are done. It's just an issue of thinning out, like, hey, let's do some airbrushing, or not airbrushing. Let's highlight this a little better. Let's make this pop. Let's make this flame a little more bright and exciting to look at. And I'm okay with that. What I don't like is I don't like doing all the base colors. Like, I don't mind making minor fixes to the models because it's less time consuming and I could get more done. Like when we were painting at the Adepticon doubles over lunch, trying to get our army ready for the team tournament. Like we were highlighting all the dreadnoughts and we were, doing glow effects on certain things, and I was enjoying it because I was able to move quickly through various colors and just do a little bit at a time, and that was enjoyable to me. But just sitting through and looking at a model, be like, okay, well, it's primed. Well, let's establish the base code on, the gun, and let's establish the base code on the armor. This takes too long. It's so boring.
I agree.
And that's why a lot of people have been transitioning to using inks and contrast paints.
And that's why when you said you should do it like that, I went, duh! And dropped everything and went to do it like that. Because...
And you can't tell me that doesn't look sharper in half the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the wrong gun.
100%. Okay, I will need white.
These models are really bad with mold lines. Holy cow.
Okay, so white, we do not use cottage cheese, which is little...
So the first thing I would do, I would not do white. I would do your next blue up.
I am waiting for the ink to dry. I'm going to do white on my power sword.
Oh, I would do light gray. I would start with light gray and work your way up.
Yeah, but then it won't look like every single other one that I have already painted within my army.
Oh, okay.
But white...
Are you doing... Are you doing the green ink?
No, blue ink.
Oh.
Blue ink.
Yeah, so
I'm going... So, white? I was waiting for you to see if you had another objection.
I mean, in order for the inks to work, you have to use...
Finish your sentence? Or not?
Or not. Just throw models across the room. I guess that's not correct.
I just love how we just gave up on saying that sentence. You know what? I'm gonna paint white.
Perfect. Hey, I hope you enjoy painting white.
I will not, because it's still painting.
Yeah, but you don't even have to do it like a super clean cut job. You just doing a light color, a glaze of white, because you're going to be covering with a nice ink. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to paint the entire thing a solid white. You can do just dry brush.
I thought I told you. Dry brush is my least favorite method of painting. Well, if I paint off cam, it will not do much. Up. One thick coat.
Somewhere, someone's watching this video and they're just like, oh my goodness.
What's his name? Duncan?
Duncan.
Duncan is is rolling in his grave right now.
Well, he's not dead, so I hope not. He's still alive. He still paints a bunch.
Yep. Hey, one thick coat works. Look at that. Wow. Such gorgeous. Much beautiful. Oops.
I need to look at my other inceptors to see how I did them.
Up. One thick coat. It is white. There you go, the sharp edge. There you go.
I thought I did that. Okay. Guess we're doing some cutting. Hi, Blizzard.
What did you do?
No, nothing. So with the inceptors,
Up. That you already made.
yeah, that I already made. So
Ooh.
these inceptors have little hoods, and I just don't like the way they look. So I cut it off. So with these ones that I'm about to build, I'm going to cut them off as well. Speaking of highlights, you need highlights. You don't actually have any highlights on you, Mr. Inceptor.
A lot of your army does not have highlight.
Yeah, and I need to go through and do that. And same thing with this aggressor. I also cut his helmet down, or the hood down, so I need to go through and redo that with the captain. So we're going to make some cuts.
Alright. It smelled like burned for a minute and for a second. I was just worried the house was burning down.
I hope not. I mean, nothing's on upstairs that would...
Up. So, let's go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So the cool thing with Prodos is that I have a lot of reference image on where to paint what. That's pretty cool. Up. So maybe that's something that I should have done on all of them. Well, it's okay.
No.
And by that, I mean the white into the ink.
Oh. Yeah, it just makes it pop out more, and it makes it... Like when I've used ink to paint green glowing plasma effects, I always work my way up to white, and then put the ink on, and then highlight over the ink.
Because what I started doing is blue, I don't know if you can see, blue in dark blue into light blue into white, but I don't have the white done on those yet.
I mean, it's just like I said, both methods work. It's just a slightly different style of painting.
Yeah, I like the easy one though.
You like the easy one? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Eloise and I'm lazy.
No, I mean, you have a finite amount of time, and you want to use your time. Whoops. You want to use your time in a way that...
Not painting.
Yeah. You'd rather build the models. You'd rather...
Do quite literally anything, if I'm honest with you. But I don't mind painting when I'm with you.
Oh.
And I think that's as good of a love declaration as... I'm not saying that I love you. I'm saying that I don't mind painting when I'm with you.
Thanks. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that statement. Feels like very
passive aggressive. So, I do not know how that StarCraft Protoss Archon will play as Yinari. Yinkarn. We'll see.
I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised, but I also think you're going to need to learn how to use it.
So the Yinkarn, when someone dies, she can just go there.
When a unit dies, you can immediately teleport that model 1 inch away, once per turn.
And then I can... No, once per phase.
Is it phase?
I believe it is per phase. Do you want to look it up? I believe it is per phase.
Yeah, I can look it up. Let me glue on this last piece, and I'll look it up for you.
And can she shoot or fight?
Yeah.
So she can teleport.
Teleport in the shooting phase, then charge somebody 1 inch away.
Teleport in the shooting phase and then shoot someone in the same phase that she teleported?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maybe that's why she's that many points.
Well, yeah, you kill something silly, and then
you go there, and you hold their objective.
You're like, surprise!
Surprise, mother-friendly person.
Mother-friendly person. Okay.
Hey, I work in corporate America. Yeah. There is a lot of words I cannot say in public.
Let's take a look at the card.
I need more blue.
That's too big.
There.
Oh, no, I guess it's in alphabetical order. It's so weird how some of the indexes are randomly organized. And
I know.
Well, it's not even in alphabetical order because it goes from Y back down to W. So dumb. Alright.
Maybe she's a T. V. Yinkarn.
You know, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Serpent.
You know that you can control F on those?
I don't know, because these are images. You could try.
Is it the index that are on Y? Yeah. It's not images, it's PDF. Doobie-doo. You've got a brain.
I don't know. I don't know how to spell it.
YNC.
Yeah, that's how I thought, and then I typed it and it said no matching entries.
Well, maybe I don't know how to spell it either. Up. I love how
And it's such a large file that apparently it's taking forever to load.
people coming up now will see the Yinkarn written on the wet palette. We are painting a Yinkarn, all right. Up.
True. It is the Yinkarn. Oh my goodness.
Do you spell it like that?
Yeah. And that's how I would have spelled it, but it's not. It's stupid. Okay. Once per phase, if this model is on the battlefield, when another unit is destroyed, just after removing the last model of the unit, you can remove this model from the battlefield and set it up again as close as possible to where the destroyed model was, and not within engagement range of the enemy models. So what you do is, since you have the night spinners or the fire prisms, you kill something like
Herpaderp.
Yeah, some silly unit that you can pretty much guarantee that's going to die, and then you're like, hey, the cards come in. And then
she can shoot as if she had not teleport.
Yep, assuming, she
Wow.
hasn't already shot, then she can shoot and charge.
Unless you're Herpaderp, you will shoot her last or charge her last. Yeah.
And then you can have damage.
She halves damage?
Yeah.
Wow.
12 wounds, 2 up save.
12 wounds?
4 up invulnerable save.
Morven is less wounds than that.
Yeah.
Morven is the almighty mama of the Sisters of Battle.
So yeah. And then she stacks with other abilities. So you can use the Farseer ability in your army to make her -1 to wound, and then you throw her down range. You yeet her to the other side of the table, making -1 to wound. And so, like, what happened against me when I played against the Yunkarin last? Toughness 10, and all my weapons are strength 8. -1 to wound means my toughness or strength 8 weapons are wounding on 6s with no rerolls to wound.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
Gross.
So yes, that's a good thing that I'm painting her then.
So you definitely, but the way this model works is it's way more aggressive. Like, you're going to lose the model eventually. Like, she's not going to last the entire game. Like,
Oh yeah.
You're just trying to throw her in the most disadvantageous places possible.
Yeah.
And just do maximum damage. Like, so against my Tau, like, her tying up like 5 crisis suits
will cost you the game.
Yeah.
That and the fact that...
And, like, she does d6 plus 1 damage. So I just got hot rolled by him, too. Like, not only did I fail all my vulnerable saves, I also, every time a vulnerable save went through, it was 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
It was so gross. And she could reroll 1 hit, 1 wound per turn.
That's the...
So realistically, like, against crisis suits, she's hitting on 2s with 5 attacks, rerolling with the 1 miss that you might get, wounding on 2s, rerolling the 1 wound you might miss.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so that's a good thing.
And then if
her.
they do terrible damage allocation, like let's say they position all their shots to kill the Yunkarin, and they accidentally kill something else,
I can always teleport away.
you just teleport away, and it's like, oh man, you know those shots that you just lined up? Nope.
99999.
Yeah. And I guess it's once per phase. So if you have other Eldar units in assault, you fight first with the Yunkarin, and then the other Eldar units resolve their assault, and if they kill something, then you're like, all right, well, Yunkarin's going to come over here now, behind the building.
Yeet. Yeah, the Yunkarin seems like a good one to
Oh yeah.
have.
And they may have increased the Yunkarin's points, but still ridiculous for the amount of stuff that it can do. It is very...
She very broken.
Not broken, but points changes...
She does a lot.
Points changes don't fix dumb mechanics, and she's filled with dumb mechanics.
Yeah. And your hat. Let's paint your hat, sir.
So we have been streaming for just about 2 hours. When do you want to keep going, or do you want to airbrush?
Well, that's a question for Brendan. Because I'm going to keep doing that until it's painted. So I'm going to keep going back and forth. I like, when I watch interweb content, seeing the completion of the project that I'm watching. So I don't know if people want to watch the bases being finished, or no, well, it's not quite if people want to watch. If you want to show people the bases being finished, or if you want to show people.
I thought this was more of just an opportunity to hang out. Like, if you figure it takes painting models a couple hours, like, no one's gonna watch for.
Point made. Like on a stream,
Yeah.
I always go to the end to see what the final result is. I am one of those monsters.
You're a monster.
There you go. I think it's enough. I think it's enough blue. Because after all that blue, we need to add the other blue, and after all that blue, we need to add the other blue. So you're going to dry. Then we're going to dry brush that. Do we want to dry brush Toxic Mist or Night Love?
Yes.
Which blue's better?
The one in your right hand.
That one?
Yeah. I mean, they're very similar, but actually, if you want, there's another more plasma blue on the third shelf in the middle.
That?
Either that one or the one right next to it. Not that one. That's white. That's gray.
No, that's blue.
Yeah, that's like...
White blue.
Yeah. You need another blue in transition. I'm talking about either that one or the one next to it.
Wait. Shake, shake, shake. Which brush for dry brush? Where is the pointy brush that I cleaned up today? Ah, thank you. There you go. These are real 100% makeup brushes. I hate dry brushing, especially when it does nothing. It doesn't quite do what I want it to do. So we're not going to use this brush because it's the brush's fault, not the technique's fault.
Yeah. That's like the ideal brush for dry brushing.
Shh. You're wrong. It's okay.
It's okay that I'm wrong.
You're allowed to be wrong. Oh, there you go.
I also want to say, I'm super bummed we didn't get to see the solar eclipse. It's been like off and on raining all day today, where we are, and cloudy.
Yes, no solar eclipse.
No solar eclipse for us. Sadness.
I mean, when you live in a rainforest, sometimes it
A
rains.
subtropical rainforest, yep.
Surprisingly. Who would have thought?
Never would have guessed.
The fact that it chose to rain the day of a pretty cool.
Not that we were going to see, like...
We were in the 85% area, aren't we?
No.
60?
40.
40? Yeah, so we would not have seen crap anyways.
We would have saw a slight obscuration of the sun.
Like, it's been so shitty. The weather has been so bad all day that we did not even see the sky get darker.
Because it was already dark.
I have faith. So, I'm a little bit bummed that you don't want to put in the effort to build a display board for your Tau.
I never said that. I said I was thinking about building a display board in the next 4 days before we went on stream.
Oh.
We keep getting squirreled away, and I just don't finish the conversation that we have.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. I think actually where the discussion went was, why don't you work on a display board right now? And I said, none of our cameras or table space are currently lined up for me to work on a full-fledged display board. That's, I would have to move around way too much stuff, and we wanted to play a game, so tomorrow. Because our gaming table is immediately behind us, so...
Fair.
It'd be a little challenging to get everything set up for building a display board, and then take it apart and play a game. And then put it all back up.
That's funny because I would have just swapped the tables. Oops, sorry. So yeah, I like the effect that it gives. You were right with your advice, sir. I thought I would let you know. It gives it a swimming. It gives it a swimming pool vibe. It does not quite look that swimming pool-y on the screen, but it does have some strong swimming pool vibe.
Well, I think when you add the lighter colors and you add the whites and
I know.
You're just not even close to finishing it. Like there's still 2 to 3 more shades that I would put on there before I call it done.
Mhm. Hashtag me too. There you go. So you're gonna go dry. While we go back to the walkers and do the light blue. Oop. Got attacked in the boobies by a walker. And we do that little bubble with that. That's being Luthern green. Also, now that I spent an hour this morning cleaning our brushes, I am being way more thorough and careful about how I rinse them. I guess it was not a waste of time. At least not 100%.
Yeah, and you're taking pride in the...
Oop. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. So tomorrow, what do we play?
So tomorrow, I gotta schedule everything. I'll do that after I'm done building these
But wait, I play
Inceptors.
Sisters.
What do you want to play against?
I still think I should learn how to play against Tau. I do strongly believe that if I can, quote unquote, defend myself against Tau, I can defend myself against quite a lot of stuff. Oh, you're making the face. Why are you making the face?
No, I'm literally just looking at my model that I'm holding in my hand. So yeah, I mean, if you want to play against Tau, that's fine. So I wouldn't change too much out of your doubles list, but if you wanted to, like maybe taking the Exorcist that you got back there on the table or the Castigator.
Are they good?
Yeah, I mean they're a little pricey, but they're not bad. So what would you change in your list?
I like the list as well. I wish it were making more damage, but
So we could probably get rid of the Repentia and the third Rhino.
Yes, and replace the Repentias with Orcoflagellants.
I don't think you'll have Arcoflagellants ready to go before that tournament.
Such rationality, it's disappointing.
Sorry. Sorry for crushing your dreams.
I have 3 here. 1, and 2. And where's the third one? And 3.
You don't even have 17 more built.
I can put 3 on the table.
Okay, perfect. I think that's 33 points.
Well, that's a way better use of points than servitors.
You don't have servitors in your army.
The sister servitors.
You don't... What? I'm so confused as to what you're talking about. The Crusaders?
The Power Club.
Oh, those things are fantastic. They do exactly what they're designed to do. Hold an objective. Or do an action, and then die. That's actually the one thing I would keep in your list, are the Crusaders. Now, if you wanted to take Arcoflagellants and Crusaders, then that's a different story. How did you like the Assassin?
It did a surprisingly high amount of damage.
You could get a second Assassin.
Can I get the Assassin that makes someone's...
The Caldus, yeah.
First one to do something?
Yep.
Blizzard! Enough!
You 100% can. The Vindicar is probably pretty fun. He killed so many Plague Marines in that one game.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to pop my pistol. Pop, pop, pop. Gangsta style. And then he's like, well, there's 3 Plague Marines. Oh, there's 3 more Plague Marines. Oh, and there's the character from downrange.
And there is no more Plague Marines.
And there's no more Plague Marines. Yeah, we have the Caldus. If you want to run the Caldus. Let's see. So you have 200 points to work with, because that's a Rhino, and then that's 205 points to work with. And I think you actually had another 5. So I'll have to look at your list, because you want litanies. I think we could both agree, after my one practice game with Sisters, your one practice game with Sisters, and the tournament with us playing Sisters, getting nothing but 1s and 2s for Miracle Dice kind of sucks.
Yeah.
So at least getting a couple rerolls over the course of the game.
A chance to reroll some of them. Yeah. I agree. I agree. Litanies of Faith is a hard yes.
But you need a character to hold it, because right now you don't have a character who can hold it. So you need a Palatine or Dialgus or...
Junith cannot?
No, special characters cannot have enhancements. So right now on the list you have Junith, you have Morven, and then you have Celestine. There's no Palatine.
Based on how weak the weapons are, I would say that I need a Palatine more than I need a Canonets. Because the Palatine helps you reroll wounds.
No, Palatine gives lethal hits, I think.
Oh, she doesn't help you reroll wounds anymore?
No. She did have the reroll ones to wound Aura last edition, but I don't believe that's the ability she has now. I believe now she has the unit that she joins, it's lethal hits.
Lethal hits means...
On a 6 to hit, you automatically wound. Yeah. Let's see. Looking up Palatine. Yep. And it's lethal hits for shooting or close combat too, by the way.
Nice.
And she also has Rapturous Blows, and you could give her a souped up combat weapon, and she just could deal a lot of mortals by herself. So you could run 2 Palatines. Hear me out. 1 Palatine just chilling out, hanging out, just helping you with Litanies of Faith. And then you could do a second Palatine leading a unit of some sort of close combat squad. Your choice.
We don't do close combat squads.
Or you can do Dominions. Lethal hits with the Stormbolters could be fun.
And it's still the same Artificer's Crafted Stormbolters with 2 hit each?
I don't know. Let's take a look. I don't believe they do devastating wounds anymore.
I mean, they did not. It was
A stratagem.
Blessed Bolt. Blessed be the Bolt.
Dominions. Ranged weapons. Yes. Their Stormbolter is still damage 2. 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, and assault. So that means you can advance and shoot.
So I would be eligible to shoot.
Yep.
For the purpose of actions.
Correct. And they have a scout move of 6 inches, which is pretty important in your army. You could put them in a rhino, which would give the rhino scouts. They can re-roll their advance rolls for the unit.
Nice.
Let's see, weapon options. Up to 4 can have a Stormbolter, Melt-A-Gun, or Flamer. So you could just put out a bunch of bolter shots. I mean, they would have lethal hits. They'd be able to scout. I mean, being able to advance and still shoot's kind of neat. I don't know. They just seem kind of expensive. I wish you could take them in a squad of 5.
Oh. So up to 4 can have the weapon, but then you can take them on in units of 10?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you would have the sergeant and then 4 other idiots, and then you have the 5 bolters. Your 5, don't shoot me in the face.
Does the hospitaller revive people still? Like,
the problem is I think the hospitaller can, but it can't. It can only join like one unit that's worthwhile. Leader. Yeah. So you can attach a battle. It can attach it to a battle sister squad, sacristans, dominions, retributors.
Yeah. So
but you can't attach any other characters to it.
So put it with a dominion.
And they get 5 up, feel no pain.
Put it with a unit of 10 dominion. Get 5 up, feel no pain. They hold something in the back, or they go ahead and hold the thing in the middle. They have a 3 up, 6 up, 5 up. There's 10 girls. There's 5 girls that are expendable.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't sound half bad. And they can scoot up to go hold the middle before your opponent.
The only problem is they don't have the scout keyword, so you would not be able to scout.
Oh, I cannot scout the hospitalier?
Correct. The Palatine, however, does have the scout word. So I guess, do you want a unit that can lethal hit with the bolters and a rhino? I mean, that's about 200 points. Let's see. I think a Palatine plus 10 dominions plus litanies of faith should be about 200 points.
I would rather take more trash.
I'm converting Eloise into a trash panda.
No, but sisters are converting me into a trash panda because they have the damage output of my grandmother. So sisters are converting me into a trash panda fiend. Because what else are you going to do with them, you know?
Well, so the guy who went 4-1, 5-0 at Michigan GT with sisters, Scott, Mr. Ketchum, brother to Ash Ketchum, he had 6 tanks and 30 arcoflagellants to push stuff back in like Crusaders.
I mean, we have the tanks.
You have 2, not 6.
No, but we can put some on the table. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, you could. Did you drink any of your drinks so far?
The water or the booze?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Proud of you. Eloise is like, I want a cocktail. Okay. Haven't touched it.
Well, I have been told that me drunk on stream is not a good idea.
I didn't tell you that.
I know. It was a joke. And I think me drunk on stream is a great idea. Buzz me is very entertaining.
You do walk away a lot.
Zooby, zooby, zooby.
At Michigan GT during the doubles, we would play a game, and then like I would start rolling some dice, and Eloise just vanishes for, a good 30 minutes and comes back and is like, why did you do that? I'm like, Because you were gone?
Please acknowledge the fact that I had food poisoning and that I did not vanish to go zubi, I vanished to go die.
I think you were just, finding more alcohol to get into.
No.
I mean, you did. I remember the one time you walked away and then you came back with 2 glasses of wine in your hand. Yeah.
Yes. That was the first day, not the second day.
Yeah, not the second day. The second day you were taking a nap outside in the convention center.
No, that was before lunch, not after lunch. Sorry for mixing my time frame. I can promise you that after lunch I did not want alcohol. After lunch I wanted to die.
Oh no.
Wah, wah.
So, I actually don't mind the rhino in the list, the 3rd rhino, but I'm just trying to think if there's a...
So what do we have? We have an immolator and an exorcist?
Oh, no. I'll have to go look. I don't recall. You have a castigator, which is
A castigator and an exorcist.
the shooting one, and I think you have an exorcist. And both of which are solid. They're just a little pricey.
Because they're indirect?
The exorcist is.
Oops. Oh, I have hit the... I don't care anymore point.
Yeah. Let me finish up this guy, and then we can wrap up the stream.
I'm about done.
We've been doing it for about 2 hours and a half now, so.
I'm about done with painting that board anyway, so we're going to do... and it's time to go make mac and cheese for my husband.
Mac and cheese is pretty important.
There you go. So you are going to go back on your base. Like that. Yes, Queen. Someone trying to call you?
I was harassing Brad. Because Brad's like, oh, I'm going to play Tau. Someone's going to provide me with the Tau army this weekend. It's going to be great.
Did you find the Tau army?
No. So he was playing orcs.
Oh. I didn't know he was playing orcs this weekend.
Yeah, because he said, oh, I'm going to play Tau. It's going to be great.
Wow.
Which proves my point. It's kind of hard to get models if you don't have them. Like, Tau and Eldar are pretty hot commodity armies right now, and
They are.
saying, oh, I'll be able to play them, and just being very confident and getting those models doesn't necessarily always work in your favor. I love Brad, but I wouldn't let him borrow my Tau. And I'm pretty sure Tom didn't go. I'm pretty sure Lyle's there with them.
And I'm pretty sure that Lyle would not let him borrow his Tau ever.
Well, Lyle's using his Tau, so.
And I'm still pretty sure that Lyle would never let him use his Tau ever again.
I don't blame Brad for what happened. I blame the airlines. They did soccer kick Lyle's Tau army into existence, out of existence.
They did. Oh, of course I'm painting outside of the range of the screen. Up. Oh! Too much water. There you go.
So you happy with your progress?
Yeah. I'm going to put a probe on the walker's base.
Did you want to finish painting them first before you put them on
They
there?
are finished painting. It's 3 colors.
I thought you wanted to
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay.
It clearly is once everything has 3 color, we will go back to it. Eloise kind of problem. I still yeah. I still want to play them at some point, I'm tired of
Yeah.
The problem is that I'm extremely slow in my painting adventures.
Well, I don't think it's that you're slow. I think it's, one, we don't even have all the models that you want to use. 2, you still work a lot of hours. So it's just
kind
of... And
I scatter my energy between making, like, if we want to play Sisters this weekend, I would need to...
I mean, I would just focus on... I would just play the list that you played, and then... Okay, well,
so that's
you have plenty of models that we could swap out the Repentia for. Like,
results. I wish the lava
came out a little better.
Yeah.
It's very crackly.
There you go. Now you can see the colors underneath. It's terrible.
I would take a steel bristle brush, and if you're gonna try and do that.
It is perfect like that. There you go. Perfect. Zoo. So, this is the final result. I'm going to add some crystals.
The glow-in-the-dark ones or the blue ones?
The blue ones to start. I don't know where you put them.
We'll find them.
So Brendan organizes stuff. I'm one of those people that it is going to be under the carpet in the third room on the left, 10 centimeters in, and I know that it's there, but it looks like crap. It does not look organized. I just know that it's there. And Brendan is one of those people who actually organizes stuff. Like a grown-up or something?
Like a grown-up or something.
Boring?
I know. Just so boring.
Boring.
Mainly because there's so many projects that we're working on a regular basis that,
And that's also why I want to finish the Eldar army, so that at least one of the projects is out of the way, in the shelf, ready to be played.
That's fair.
I don't feel I'm being unreasonable. So you will not get a crow. Can I put a pylon on there? Nope. Can I put one of the small pylons on there? Nope.
The dogs are getting excited.
Yeah, I rolled the chair. I made a mistake of rolling the chair. Mistakes were made. Okay, so that's, I believe, the closest to a finished product that you're going to get from me.
Yeah, I mean...
This is the Walker that is Tucker inspired. We're going to add some crystals on the base. What we also did today is the Yin-Carn, so added the Yin-Carn's stars into the base.
Are these stars or flames?
They are stars in my mind.
Okay.
And up, we have also painted the basic colors of the body. So a little bit of dry brush, a little bit of more colors here, and I expect her to be over, so I expect her to be over tonight. I'll send pictures. We're going to post pictures on
Instagram, probably.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's Eloise's project. If you want to take the screen, Brendan, and tell us what you've done.
So I started painting some bases. So I have these nice mosaic bases. We're going to do an alternative color scheme. So right now it's just black and gold. What we're going to do is after dinner, we're going to set up the airbrush, and we're going to take a baby wipe, stretch it out over this, and then airbrush some red, some dark red, and then do a highlight of light red, and then remove the baby wipe, which should do a pretty cool marble effect. And then I'll get these fully painted with gray and like doing the ring around it and everything tonight, and then we'll take Eloise's Retributors, who are kind of on this mosaic base, but just need a slight update. So hopefully it'll make them pop a little bit.
Their bases are just boring.
You heard it from her, not from me. So we'll get them on some new bases tonight as well. And hopefully this doesn't mean that I'm going to end up doing a whole entire 3,000 points of Sisters of Battle mosaic bases.
No. I like my other bases. It's just the Retributors were identified as and we have been talking about it for a bit now. I knew the Retributors were to be rebased.
And since I didn't want to blow out everyone's eardrums using the airbrush, I also didn't want to gas myself out without having any sort of air quality control. I went through and started building my starter set Terminator, so I have 5 of those. And we also went to the game store and picked up 3 frames from the starter box, which I was able to get 3 Inceptors, a Gravis Armor Captain, 5 Incursors, or not Incursors, Intercessors, and 3 Hellblasters for $15. So figure I'll build those as well, and then
go to CM Game, people.
Yeah.
Great deals.
Support your local game store. That's the long and short of it, because we were able to get a whole bunch of bits and parts for pretty cheap. Like Eloise was able to get not only the parts for your Karn.
The Incarn Star. Yeah.
They're not. Are there actually stars, or is it just flames?
They are stars.
They're flames.
They are stars.
Her whirling death energy.
The spiral of death.
So, with that being said, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll post updates on how everything's going later today.
And
so,
thank you for watching.
Time to get some macaroni and cheese cooking. All right.
See you guys later.
See you later. Bye.